Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bachelor Nation news fans. Rachel Lindsay is not afraid to speak her mind. Despite the constant hate she gets from Bachelor Nation fans, she keeps it moving. She just announced she's the new co-owner of the FCF team Wild Aces. Earlier this week, she answered fan questions in a Reddit AMA. In one of her answers, she threw a whole bunch of shade at a former Bachelor. Who's the biggest Bachelor Nation weenie? The AMA was hosted by Van Lathan, Rachel's co-host for the Higher Learning podcast. Us Weekly notes that they often use the term weenie on the podcast. It is often used to describe someone or someone's behavior they don't particularly like. During the AMA, a fan asked Rachel, "Who is the weeniest weenie you've ever roasted?" Rachel didn't hesitate in her response. She replied, "In Bachelor Nation, Colton Underwood." She didn't elaborate on why she felt that way. Van Lathan calls Chris Harrison a weenie. Chris Harrison's disastrous interview with Rachel on Extra was a hot topic for her Friday podcast. At one point, Rachel took a moment to give a shout-out to a comment Van left on Chris Harrison's Instagram. "You're a weenie." Did ABC purposely cast a racist on Rachel Lindsay's season? Former Bachelorette contestant Diggy Moreland's first reaction to Chris Harrison seemingly defending racism was to bring up Lee Garrett. Lee was a suitor on Rachel's season 13 of The Bachelorette with Diggy. In a tweet, Diggy Moreland accuses the network of casting a known racist on Rachel's season. It seems that Rachel agrees with that assessment. During the AMA, Lee's name came up. She said that at first, she gave ABC the benefit of the doubt, thinking the suitor slipped through the cracks of the vetting process. Once Lee was on the show, racist and sexist tweets resurfaced. The Bachelor Nation's contestants go through several rounds of background checks, including a social media sweep. However, Rachel now feels differently. She believes that the network purposely let Lee on to add controversy. Many fans wonder if the same thing happened with Rachel Kirkconnell. She was the one Chris Harrison was defending on Extra. While her social media wasn't overtly racist like Lee Garrett's, she attended an Old South party in college. Her sorority banned such parties 2 years before Rachel attended one. In the former Bachelorette's opinion, Rachel did slip through the cracks. Despite her many irons in the fire, Bachelor Nation viewers may see and hear less of Lindsay going forward. She is considering not renewing her contract with the franchise. A new season of The Bachelorette is coming in 2021. The network has yet to declare a lead for season 17. A majority of fans are rooting for Abigail Herringer to get another chance to find love. Matt James' journey continues Mondays on The Bachelor. Join our Facebook group for more Bachelor Nation news. The weeniest weenie in Bachelor Nation. Fans gasp at the shocking reveal. It's the kind of headline that stops Bachelor Nation in its tracks. Rachel Lindsay, attorney, author, former Bachelorette, and no stranger to telling it like it is, has just named names. And not just any name. She's dubbed one unlucky contestant the weeniest weenie in Bachelor Nation, and the internet is spiraling. Who did she call out? Why now? And how is Bachelor Nation responding? Strap in, because what started as a spicy podcast comment has blown up into one of the messiest, most divisive Bachelor scandals of 2025. Chapter 1. It started with the village. Or did it? Rachel Lindsay has made a name for herself as one of the most outspoken, unfiltered voices to emerge from the Bachelor franchise. From her fiery exit to her no BS podcast, Higher Learning, she's never held back. But fans didn't expect her to roast this hard. On the latest episode of her podcast, while co-host Van Lathan jokingly asked her who she would never want to see at a reunion, Rachel hesitated, then dropped this bomb. "You know who gives me weeniest weenie energy? And I mean this with my whole chest, Brandon McNulty." Silence, then laughter, then chaos. Chapter 2. Who is Brandon MCNULTUI? And why is he being dragged to? Bachelor Nation might be divided on many things, but Brandon McNulty? He was supposed to be safe. A runner-up on The Bachelorette. Season 20, fan favorite, sweet-talking, emotionally vulnerable. What happened? According to Rachel, a lot happened off-camera. He acts like a puppy on-screen, but off-screen, this man is passive-aggressive, talks behind people's backs, and tried to start drama with me when I was just trying to mind my business. Rachel hinted at a particularly messy group chat fallout during a franchise reunion event, suggesting Brandon stirred conflict between contestants while maintaining a golden boy persona for fans. He's like the guy who tattles to producers and then sits there all wide-eyed like, who, me? Weenie behavior, she declared. And just like that, the internet exploded. Chapter 3, TVITER, XU, Meltdown, hashtag WENIEJT begins. Bachelor Nation fans took to Twitter, or X, as it's now called, and within minutes, the hashtag Weenigate was trending. Some fans defended Rachel. She doesn't miss. If she says Brandon's the weenie, then Brandon's the weenie. Add back tea addict. Others weren't so sure. This feels mean. Brandon has always been vulnerable and genuine. This is messy, Rachel. At Roses in drama. Then Brandon himself finally responded, with a TikTok. He didn't say a word. He just stood in front of the camera holding a pack of Oscar Mayer weenies with a sad face and the text. Guess I'm just America's lunch now. Cue dramatic music. Chapter 4. Rachel DeBielli is down. I said what I said. Most people might have backed off, not Rachel. On the following day's IG Live, she doubled down, sipping wine as she addressed the controversy. This isn't about canceling Brandon. I'm not canceling anybody, but I am calling out energy that doesn't sit right, and I'm allowed to do that. If you're going to be two-faced, expect to be called out. She clarified that she had no personal vendetta against Brandon, but described him as someone who tries to be everything to everyone and ends up betraying the people who actually had his back. Then she ended with this mic drop. Y'all can call me bitter, but I'd rather be a baddie than a weenie. Fans, lost their minds. Chapter 5. ENSIDERS Espile more tea. Just when things couldn't get messier, anonymous sources, some of them allegedly former cast members, started speaking to Bachelor Nation fan blogs. One insider alleged that Brandon ratted out several contestants during his season's overnight dates, claiming he wanted to control the narrative. Another claimed Rachel and Brandon clashed at a private Bachelor in Paradise alumni retreat in Tulum, where he called her intimidating and said she made people uncomfortable with her strong opinions. That was when she stopped rocking with him, the source said. Rachel doesn't forget that kind of shade. Suddenly, Rachel's weenie label wasn't so random anymore. Chapter 6. The franchise responds, or stays suspiciously silent. Fans began pressuring Bachelor Nation producers to respond. But as of now, there's been radio silence from official franchise accounts. This only fueled speculation. Some suggested the show was protecting Brandon due to his upcoming appearance on a rumored spin-off, Bachelor, Redemption Island, a show supposedly designed to give controversial contestants a second shot at love. If that's true, the last thing producers want is Brandon being labeled a weenie before the season even airs. Honestly, this is exactly why Rachel left the franchise. They protect the men at all costs, one fan posted. Chapter 7. Old CLIPs resurface. Did we miss the signs? Bachelor Nation sleuths didn't stop there. Fans began digging through past footage and found several red flags in Brandon's behavior. In one group date, he was caught whispering to a producer right after an argument. Fans now see it as strategizing. In another moment, he refused to take accountability during a 2-on-1 date that ended in a meltdown. And then there was his hometown date, where his ex-girlfriend allegedly showed up off-screen, and Brandon conveniently didn't tell the lead until weeks later. Brandon's whole brand was soft boy, but I think Rachel just blew the lid off that illusion, a Reddit user wrote. Chapter 8. Julia Pasquarosawivijsn. Out of nowhere, Juliana Pasquarosa, yes, that Juliana, from Grant Ellis's wild season of The Bachelor, entered the chat. She posted a cryptic Instagram story. Some men out here with varsity weenie energy. Rachel said what needed to be said. #Bachelor Nation. Fans were shook. Why was Juliana getting involved? It turns out Juliana and Brandon briefly dated off-camera last fall, according to a Dukes Moy tip that just resurfaced. Now fans believe she may have had her own run-in with Brandon's alleged two-facedness, lending even more credibility to Rachel's claims. Chapter 9. Brandon's image takes a hit. In the weeks following the podcast, Brandon has kept a relatively low profile. Sources claim he's pulled out of scheduled appearances, including a planned group interview with Bachelor alumni at a streaming platform's dating special. A rep from ABC gave a vague statement. Brandon is taking some time for himself. We support all cast members as they navigate public life. But damage has been done. Fan polls have shifted, and a once-beloved figure is now being dragged across Bachelor Nation forums. Brandon was never a villain, but this is giving hidden menace energy, one fan said. Chapter 10. Rachel's final word. Weeks after the firestorm began, Rachel addressed #WeenieGate one last time during a guest spot on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. When asked if she regrets her comments, Rachel smirked. Absolutely not. If calling out bad behavior makes me the villain, then fine. I'll wear the horns, but I said what I said because no one else was going to. Andy asked if Brandon had reached out privately. She nodded. Let's just say, he apologized, but not for the right things. And with that, she ended the saga, or did she? Epilogene, the Weenie, that shook Bachelor Nation. Love him or hate him, Brandon McNulty became a Bachelor Nation legend for all the wrong reasons. One fiery comment from Rachel Lindsay reshaped the way fans see one of the franchise's former golden boys. It's a reminder that the real drama doesn't always happen on camera, and sometimes the biggest roses come with the sharpest thorns. As for Rachel, she's already moved on to her next target. Influencers who pretend they don't watch the show but recap every episode on TikTok. Bachelor Nation, brace yourself. The Queen is still talking.